it going? Westport Saloon. We're the Lark and the Loon at the Westport Saloon. We're happy to be here. We're going to kick things off with this little song here. A copper penny, a little dime. To pick one up, oh, it's hardly worth the time. But that's just money, yeah, well, now ain't it funny? How they'll find more value as that little piece of mind. Oh, wishing well, now don't you tell that little thought I gave you when that coin just fell. Our little secret, a rippled dream. If it makes no difference, won't you grant that wish for me? I don't want gold or a fancy tailored suit. If I could have the world, I'd just give it all to you. A copper coin will never buy you love. You could gather every dollar, but you will never have enough. Put your credit card away. You have my love now, you don't have to pay.
I had a wonder, a thought of mine. It came like thunder, shaking up the pines. I felt the thunder as I went under, dancing pleasantly in my daydream reverie. Oh, wishing well, cast me a spell. I'll give you all my coins, you're ringing like a bell. Admission's cheaper when I fantasize for free. When I pay a fine, my dreams are true and nothing's really changed. I don't want gold or fancy little jewels. If I could have the world, I'd just give it all to you. A copper coin will never buy you love. You can gather every dollar and never have enough. Put your credit card away. You have my love and you don't have to pay.
Forget the copper and all the wasted time. Spend it all on daydreams and your witchcraft Ponzi lies. No love for money or money for love. You can't buy happiness with a taxidermy rug. So wishing well, we'll wish you well. There's nothing you can do that we can't do for ourselves. We'll take our chances, trying out our luck. No wasting time on wishes, yeah, love should be enough. I don't want gold, or fill me by the blues. If I could have the world, I'd just give it all to you. A copper coin will never buy you love. You could gather every dollar, but never have enough. Put your credit card away. You have my love now, you don't have to pay. You have my love now, you don't have to pay.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Joe.
We're the Lark and the Loon, and we're so happy to be back here at the Westport Saloon. Almost lost my wedding band there. Don't want to lose my wedding band, wishing well. Don't want to throw it in there. Well, tonight's a very, very special night for us because tomorrow is my bandmate and husband's golden birthday tomorrow. And so it's a very, very special night.
Been a long time waiting on that one.
For us. He'll be 30 years old, too. So that's quite the day. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
It's my last night in my 20s, and you know what? I'm totally fucking all right with that. I'll tell you that much.
We're also kicking off our album release tour. That is a new song that we wrote off of it.
We'll do another song off the new one. Doing all right there? Well, we recorded a new record. Well, we released it, rather. We recorded it a while ago. We cut it in New Orleans, which is a lot of fun. We made it at Maroney Studios, which is a really awesome place. It's run by Rick Nelson, who's in the Afghan Wigs and Polyphonic Spree and all that stuff. So he's a really cool dude, and he just let us use his space, and he played bass on it, which is pretty badass.
So we have that available for sale, and we did something really stupid. We forgot our CDs back at our tour rig, which is about an hour away from here, but we do have all of our vinyls, which has a CD in it. So we are doing a strict vinyl and t-shirt plug tonight. So for all of you vinyl heads out there. So,
just pretend it's the 70s.
enough
We'll
talking,
have a good time.
more selling the music. Here's another song off of our record.
She's got to get the horn line on.
My full horn.
It's all about the accessories up here, yeah?
That's right.
Is that thing all tuned up?
I think it'll work.
Yeah. Well, pack your suitcase, your ragged coat. You know that I don't mind the weather. I'm light as a feather, tumbling down the road.
Well, no need for diamonds or pretty bows, just a pack on my back, oh, it suits me better. I'm light as a feather, tumbling down the road.
Whenever I try to settle down, the wind blows through my window, picks me up and carries me right out my front door. Gonna travel on, you can tag along. We'll be two bounding vagabonds, light as a feather, tumbling down the road. Well, you can give me asphalt or cobblestones, you know, I don't mind, just don't you take me home, 'cause I'm light as a feather, tumbling down the road.
Well, that high society never been kind to me. I tried it out, but I live for honesty. Light as a feather, tumbling down the road.
Whenever I try to settle down, the wind blows through my window, picks me up and carries me right out my front door. Gonna travel on, you can tag along. We'll be two bonding vagabonds, light as a feather, tumbling down the road. Pittsburgh, Memphis, Baton Rouge, every single town has seen these shoes. Well, I'm as a feather, tumbling down the road. And that taxi man ain't no friend of mine, never have a destination in mind. Oh, I'm light as a feather, tumbling down the road. Whenever I try to settle down, the wind blows through my window, picks me up and carries me right out my front door. Gonna travel on, you can tag along. We'll be two bonding vagabonds, light as a feather, tumbling down the road. Oh, I'm light as a feather, tumbling down the road. Thanks, y'all. Can you do more of my vocals? So, thanks, Weston. Thanks, y'all. Sure. Well, we love it up here in Kansas City. We'll do a little song about another city that Missouri's got. When it comes to blues music, they call this song the Hamlet of the Blues. Mostly because when the guy wrote it, it was just like ridiculously groundbreaking, I guess. By today's standards, it's pretty normalized, which shows you how good of a writer he was back in 1912. So something by W.C. Handy.
Gypsy to get my fortune told. Oh, went to the Gypsy to get my fortune told. 'Cause I was wild about that man who I used to hold. Gypsy, she told me, don't you wear no black. Oh, the Gypsy told me, don't you wear no black. Just come on down to St. Louis and you can win him back. Oh, help me to Cairo, make it to St. Louis by myself. Oh, I'm going to Cairo, gonna find that good man who left. I'm gonna stay so close by his side. If he flags a train, I will be sure to ride. I want that man like a schoolboy wants his pie. Oh, like a Kentucky colonel wants his mint and rye. Oh, want my baby till the stars refuse to shine. Show 'em how they fall now. I hate to see the evening sun go down. I hate to see the evening sun go down. Because my baby, he done left this town. Oh, 'cause my baby, he done left this town. Thank you. I picked that one up from Miss Bessie Smith, the Empress of the Blues there. The W.C. Handy number. You should listen to hers. It's way better.
We'll take it up a little bit. We are a married couple. Oh, thank you. The point of that is that we like to write love songs, you know. When we write music, we like to write stuff together. And so when we bring a love song to the other person, it's pretty much guaranteed to work out because they're like, "Oh my God, that's so cute. I want to write that song about me." So we like doing that.
Well, it is spring and summer, the seasons of love, right? I mean, aren't they all seasons of love? So we'll be singing quite a few love songs tonight. But we'll be sure to mix it up, though. We'll throw some murder in there, too. All right? Yeah.
You can't have love without a little bit of violence.
We got a lot of heartbreak, too. You're in that market.
This song's called With You. It's off our first record. With ya, I wanna be with ya. From when the sun comes up till the moon's high in the sky. Love ya, oh, I'm gonna love ya. From this day on until the day I die. You can give me summer rain, and you can give me chilly nights. You can even give me that long and lonesome road. Take away my stars and steal away my night. I tell you what, none of it's gonna bother me at all, as long as I've got you by my side. Oh, happy, you're making me happy. I'm bouncing like a little kangaroo. Singing, you got me singing. Hey, sweet little song that I just wrote for you. I ain't playing games, and I know that you're the same, so I can give myself to you. But if you break my heart, it's gonna tear me straight apart. But I know oh so much better than to expect that from you. Oh, different. I know that you're different. You're sweet as sun on a shining summer's morn. Give me, oh, won't you just give me a little sweet loving fresh off of the vine. My head was spinning, but you set me right. Now it's screwed on tight. You've been kind to me, I can be true indeed. 'Cause baby, you're giving me everything that I may ever want and need. Oh, burning, my heart is burning like a lamp that's full of amber kerosene. Dancing, oh, I've been dancing like the biggest fool that anyone has ever seen. From when the sun comes up until the moon's high in the sky. Love ya, oh, I'm gonna love ya. From this day on until the day I die. From this day on until the day I die.
Thank you. That
Thanks,
was
y'all.
Jeff Rolston on the harmonica over there. And it is the eve of his golden birthday tonight. I think we need to hear some more of that harmonica and perhaps a song about making a deal with the devil.
Is that where we're going?
Is that okay with everybody in here? All right. Y'all seem cool enough. I have to go and play for a bunch of family out in the Black Hills of South Dakota, and when I sing songs about the devil and stuff, I feel like I might make them uncomfortable, but not here at the Westport.
This is the devil's music, everybody.
I play it anyway.
That's what they say.
Yeah! I guess, yeah! Like, so.
Well, Carrie knew where to find him, but didn't know his name, and the barman looked startled when she asked, "Is this the place?" He just pointed to the curtain in the corner by the shade, and she calmly walked toward it with that grin upon her face. He was was smoking his cigar. He had a sleek, slender frame. He said, sit down, darling, what brings you here today? She said, I want money, I want power, I want fame. He let her laugh and asked, are you ready to pay? Well, if you want to make a deal with the devil, you gotta have a wager to play. Once you stack the deck in his favor, well, he's holding the pen, you're turning the page. Sign on the line with your God-given name. Leave your soul at the door and he'll send you on your way. Hobbling footsteps supported with a cane. Mr. Jones was a tailor who couldn't take the pain. See, he was old and he was weathered and his bones always ached. So he went down to the tavern one day with that grin upon his face. Oh yeah. There were bones on the wall. They clicked and they clacked. And when he entered the room, he could only see his back. And when he turned to face him, he just let out a laugh. Said, I'll make you feel young again, my friend, if you're just willing to pay. Well, if you want to make a deal with the devil, you gotta have a wager to play. Once you stack the deck in his favor, well, he's holding the pen, you're turning the page. Sign on the line with your God-given name. Leave your soul at the door and he'll send you on your way. So I could tell you a lesson, try to act clever and claim that I've got some kind of answer on how to outsmart his game. But faced with the choices they were all given that day, I can't help but tell you with that grin upon my face that I too drew that curtain, I too signed down my name. But the deal that I made was not for youth and not for fame. He handed me this harmonica and told me to play. I did what he said and here's the very sound that it made. Make a deal with the devil, you gotta have a wager to play. Once you stack the deck in his favor, well, he's holding the pen, you're turning the page. Sign on the line with your God-given name. Leave your soul at the door and he'll send you on your way. Send you on your way. Send you on your way. Thanks, yo.
Thank you so much. That was a song we wrote off of our last album we released called Homestead Hands.
Sure.
And since I was just yammering about the Black Hills of South Dakota, we're gonna sing you a little prairie western ballad for you. Yeah, we're gonna explore the etymology of American music and try and give you some spice, if you will. 'Cause y'all seem spicy and it's summertime.
I'll tell you a little story about our travels here. So we played this gig, and we were in Naperville, Illinois, which is right outside of Chicago, like a little Chicago suburb. And the local paper put out this little blurb about us playing there, and they didn't do any research on us, so they just looked at a picture, and they saw, thank you, they saw a washboard, and they saw a banjo, and they're like, yeah, they're a bluegrass band, obviously. So they wrote in there that we were a bluegrass band. The funny thing is we're playing at a place called Frank's Blue Room, which is a notable jazz and blues club. So these people came out to see bluegrass music at this blues club, and they're hanging out there. And I don't know if you figured this out yet, y'all, but we're not a bluegrass band. So it took them a little while to figure out, and they're sitting there, they're drinking, they're hanging out or whatever, and as they get more and more drunk, they start to yell at us, and they're like, play some bluegrass music, play some bluegrass music. So we did some folky stuff for them or whatever. But anyway, The fancy thing we tell people is we explore the etymology of American music. And what that means is we play whatever the fuck we want to play, and it fits the definition because that's just a bullshit term. It doesn't mean anything. So that's our genre. Anyway, we'll take you out west here. Out in the west, they don't take their rest until the whip and the saddle are worn. Find me some shade and I'll daydream away of a crowd in a friendly saloon. Well, they've got many names for what I've been feeling. Well, some call it Dust Bowl blues, some cabin fever. But all the fresh air in Wyoming, well, it can't cure me. I wanna hear the sound of that old parlor piano. It's out of tune, but I can still find my pitch, and just enough to raise a glass to some old cowboy's dreams. These homestead hands were born and bred for working, but singing's all I really wanna do. Prairie dogs don't seem to care for ballads, and my horse ain't one for dancing shows. You can't sing duets with the fire and its smoke, but at least I've got these cows to yodel to. Homestead hands were born and bred for working, but singing's all I really wanna do. The prairie dogs don't seem to care for ballads, and my horse ain't one for dancing shoes. Sing duets with the fire and its smoke, but at least I've got these cows to yodel to. Odelay, 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 odelay.
Thank you. Well, we can't come all the way from Arkansas and not pull out the banjo. I don't think I even said that yet. We are on tour from Arkansas. That's where we live, in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Outside of there, but from there.
It's pretty nice down there, y'all. It's hot as hell right now, which is no different from up here. We thought we'd escape the heat. We were really glad to be going up north, and we stepped out this morning and we're like, well, a lot of good that did. But y'all make it worth it. That's what it's all about. It's coming to places like the Westport Saloon and hanging out. We love it here. Thank you, Travis, wherever you are, and
Thanks,
everyone else
Travis,
here at the
and
Westport
Weston.
that makes this place rock, like Weston, who's running sound.
Thanks to Val for running the door. Appreciate y'all for being here. The night is young. We're gonna kick it up a notch. you.
Thanks, y'all. It's a little Irish polka and an Appalachian tune for you. Sure. We'll do this little suite of songs here. We like this little section of tunes. We call this the American Medley. This comes with a story. I'm going to tune this thing because it's hot out and this banjo is just bitching and moaning up here about it. But this first tune we're going to play is one of my favorite backstories to a tune. So when George Washington, who as you know was the first president of the United States, was leaving office, he had this habit during his presidency of going from the White House up to New York City. And there was this guy up there who danced hornpipes for a living. And this man was 2 feet 8 inches tall. He was very, very short, and his name was Jonathan Durang. And George Washington loved his dancing, and apparently he was very, very good at it. And so Washington, when he was leaving office, went up there and said, hey, why don't you save me the trip? I want you to come down to the White House, and I want you to dance for me. I want you to perform in the White House for me. And Jonathan Durang said, well, that sounds lovely, but hornpipes are a British dance. I can't just go down there and dance a British dance in the White House. That would just be wrong. So George Washington says to him, I think I can pull some strings. I think we can probably find someone to write you a song. So they found some people. Jonathan Durang worked with them out, and they wrote this little hornpipe. And it was the first time anyone had danced for a sitting president in the White House. So we'll start with that, and we'll slowly pick it up throughout, and we'll end you with the Arkansas State tune on this little medley here.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. That last song was the state song of Arkansas, which if you're out there and you're like, that's not the state song of Arkansas, it's because there are 4 state songs of Arkansas, which if you ask me is exactly 3 too many. We need 1, I think. What's the state song of Missouri? Anyone got it? I don't know it. No? Sure. We'll do something new for you guys.
It's Jeff's birthday evening. I keep saying that because I'm really excited for tomorrow, which is actually his birthday. But he just worked up this really cool song. He worked up Minnie the Moocher. I don't know if you know that one. I don't know if you know the saga of Minnie the Moocher, but it's pretty awesome. I won't get into it up here.
If you've seen the Blues Brothers, Cab Calloway does a really kick-ass version of it in the Blues Brothers. Cab Calloway is one of the coolest dudes ever. Yeah. Cab Calloway's kind of a funny guy. He had this residency up in Harlem, New York. She's got to tune the banjo, so I gotta ramble. He had this residency up in New York City in Harlem. His band was killing it. His band was great. And so he decides he's going to take his cut out on the road. He's like, I'm going to go out on tour. I'm going to take the band with me. And we're going to make it big on the road. And the club was like, dude, you can't do that because we need you here in Harlem to, like, rock the joint every week. And he's like, it's all right. I got this dude I met in Washington, D.C. He's going to come up and he's going to play and he's got a band. And the club is like, don't do that to us. He's like, no, he's really good. And the club is like, well, who's the guy? He's like, his name's Duke Ellington. He's very, very talented. So Duke Ellington takes over the residency. Cab Calloway goes out, does an all right job, comes back home, loses his residency to Duke Ellington. That was the Cotton Club. It's back where Ella Fitzgerald used to play, Louis Armstrong played there. And it was one of the first places where you can go and hang out and listen to jazz music, and it didn't matter what color your skin was, they'd let you in the door. It's a really famous picture of Benny Goodman and Duke Ellington out in the audience watching Ella Fitzgerald on the stage. That's all the stories I have about the Cotton Club in Harlem. Is that it?
That's it. That's good.
You guys can participate on this song. If you know it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's pretty easy. Rock's gonna sing the part of the audience. It's just a call and response thing. Folks, here's the story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a red-hot hoochie coocher. She was the roughest, toughest frail. Yeah, Minnie had a heart just as big as a whale. Oh, Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, Heidi, Heidi,
Heidi, Heidi, Heidi.
hody, 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 ho.
Hody, 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 ho.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Yeah, y'all got it. She kicked it up with a bloke named Smokey. She loved him even though he was a cokey. He took her right on down to Chinatown, and he taught her how to kick the gong around. Oh, Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, Heidi, Heidi,
Heidi, Heidi,
Hody, 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 ho.
Hody, 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 ho.
Heedy, 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 hey.
Heedy, 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 hey.
She had a dream about the king of Sweden. Gave to her everything that she was needing. He gave her a townhouse made out of brick and steel, a diamond car, and a platinum wheel. Oh, Heidi, 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 ho!
Heidi, 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 ho!
Heidi, 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 Heidi,
Heedy, 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 heedy.
oh, scoop-a-bop, 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 bow!
Scoop-a-da-bop, 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 hoo.
Booty-bop-bop-boop-ba-doo-ba-doo.
Ba-da-ba-bop-bop, ba-da-ba-ho.
Gave her townhouse and a dozen horses. Each meal she got came out in a dozen courses. He gave her $1 million worth of nickels and dimes, and she just sat around and counted it all, baby, 1,000,000 times. Well, Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, Heidi, Heidi,
Heedy, heedy, heedy.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, 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 Heidi.
Heedy, 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 heedy.
Folks, that's the story about poor Minnie the Moocher. She was a red-hot hoochie coocher. She was the roughest, toughest frail. Yeah, Minnie had a heart just as big as a whale. Oh, Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, Heidi, Heidi.
Heedy, heedy, heedy.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, 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 Heidi.
Heedy, 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 heedy.
Oh, poor Min, poor Min, poor Min, poor Min, poor Min. That was great, you guys. That was awesome.
You were so awesome. Thanks for being so much fun and singing along.
You're a good crowd to try that out on, yo. That's what we get for living out in the woods. We'll play another song of ours. This is a little song we wrote. And it's kind of like we sort of wrote two songs at once. That was kind of what happened with this one. You'll see what we're talking about. We put this record out. And when you put an album out, there's all this stuff you got to do if you want to promote it. And so we sent it around. We sent it around to all these people. And it was like really funny, the stuff we got. We sent this song around to a couple of journalists and stuff. And they had just the funniest things to say about this. They're like, I don't understand this song. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. This is like two songs on top of each other. And I was like, it's a really good critique. I like that. How's that horn doing, baby?
I think I've got it. You know, I've worked long and hard with my horn.
Marks in a bridge, marks in a tree. Honey, the way that you walk with me, walking around, thinking we were somebody else.
Break
A leg, knock 'em dead. Do everything the director said. Walking around, thinking we were somebody else. You know
Sticks and stones
that I
can
tried,
break my bones,
but that's not always fair. And you can try any little trick you got, but you won't see me there. And there are two kinds of fortune, also intertwined. But if I find a way out, you gotta make sure that it's mine. Live and let live.
Talk with
Oh, and I'll give all I've got to give. You might feel secure living in the eye of the storm, but I wouldn't do it not about somebody else. Keep it up, don't give in. Do everything that you can to win. The folks out there thinking we were somebody else. Leaving the lights, take a bow. Nobody cares about you now. They were just there thinking we were somebody else. You know that I tried, but that's not always fair. And you can try any little trick you got, but you won't see me there. And there are two kinds of fortune. misfortune, both so intertwined. But if I find a way out, you gotta make sure that it's mine. Live and let live. Oh, and I'll give all I've got to give. You might feel secure living in the eye of the storm, but I wouldn't do it not if I was somebody else. And let live. Oh, and I'll give all I've got to give. You might feel secure living in the eye of the storm, but I wouldn't do it not if I was somebody else. No, I wouldn't do it not if I was somebody else. Thanks, yo.
Thank you. Sorry about
That's
that.
off the new album.
Thank you.
Want to show what you got?
Sure. Well, I think we've got some time here, you know. As you get older, time flies, like, really fast. It's, like, freaking me out. I don't know when is where, or what is how, or who is in. But I do know that we wrote this song that we're about ready to play.
We told you we'd cheer you up. This is our cheer you up song. So we wrote this album of duets, and that's the last album we put out. It's called 2. And we were like, man, it's a bunch of love songs and some doomy stuff like that last one. We're like, we need something really upbeat. So we decided to write a song that's like sickeningly sweet, as we put it. So this is like just bubblegum and ponies and like rainbows and cinnamon buns for you. It's a little song. It's a little song called Shine What You Got. When you've been placed in unfortunate ways, with ambitions unfazably blue, when your heart feels like a dark catacomb that apparitions of sorrow call home, don't you fret about tomorrow, it'll come no matter what, I'm sure you know. You can lift your weary spirit, though you may not want to hear it. You can raise your mood with a tune.
When hope feels out of reach, though to your heart it seems it's just illusions fading behind you. Don't need rescuing, just need rest and peace and a little time to ease a restless mind. Didn't you know, didn't you show, somebody has been there before? You don't always know where to go or what you are in for. The sky may be gray, but sunshine and starlight are all the same, whether you're near or far away. You gotta shine what you've got, even if it's just a little flame. And when trouble comes knocking at my door, I remember these are words I've heard before.
When you feel out of place and you're afraid to face all the troubles you have gathered around you, don't need wallowing, you just need ways to see how the sunshine always seems to surround you. Well, didn't you know, and didn't it show that somebody has been there before? You don't always know where to go, what you are in for. The sky may be gray, but sunshine and starlight are all the same, whether you're near or far away. You gotta shine what you got, even if it's just a little flame. When trouble comes a-knocking at my door, I'll remember these words I've heard before. When sorrow seems to stay, wisps your smile away, and you can't find the feelings to mend you. You don't need company, you don't need comforting. Just let teardrops change to raindrops in a cloud. Didn't you know, didn't it show, somebody has been there before? You don't always know where to go or what you are in for. The sky may be gray, the sunshine and starlight are all the same, whether you're near or far away. You gotta shine what you got, even if it's just a little flame. Ba-da-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. You gotta shine what you got, even if it's just a little flame.
So cheer you up tune.
Shine what you've got,
y'all.
folks. Whatever you got, just shine it. It doesn't have to be a big flame, even if it's just a little flame. Well, I think we ought to take it back to some like doomy blues, maybe a little bit, little slide, maybe. I guess we are on the Mississippi River. I think
We're
we
on the
have.
Missouri, aren't we?
We're on the Mississippi and Missouri, right? It's a confluence here. Oh.
It's just the Missouri
Wow,
here,
I
I
feel
think,
really
right?
dumb.
It feels-
I thought that for some reason. The Missouri River runs through South Dakota. It's really kind of what divides like eastern South Dakota and western South Dakota. I grew up on the western side of South Dakota.
West River,
Very
y'all.
different, but so that means
That's
a lot.
what they say up
That
there.
makes this place even more special now that the Missouri River runs through here. Thanks for the information.
Well, I'll do this song. I gotta do some chatting. She's gonna put her washboard on. It's a song about a steamboat. We didn't write this song. Back in the day, you could take this steamboat freighter, and you could take it all the way up north to St. Paul from New Orleans, but only if there was room available. So a lot of people would talk about they would go down to the docks and they'd wait, and they'd say, I'm gonna take that ship soon, someday. And if there was room on it, they would just charge you whatever you had, really. And they'd put you on the freight liner, and they would just take you up there. It was a couple days, you had to bring your own food, I think. It had represented a lot for people down in New Orleans, you know. If you can go all the way up the river, you'd stop in St. Louis if you want. You can go to Memphis. Or you can go to St. Paul, where I was born 30 years ago. 30 years ago at 11 in the morning. So a song called Sliding Delta. Gotta pick up that steam now.
Delta's gonna run right by my door. I say that sliding Delta's gonna run right by my door. Well, I'm going on up that country, honey. Well, don't you wanna go? Yeah, I'm going up the country and I ain't coming back no more. Well, I said I'm going on up that country. I'm bound to see a little ice and snow. Yeah, I'm going up the country. Come on, baby, come along, yeah. Well, I'm gonna take that sliding Delta's gonna run right by my door. I say that sliding Delta's gonna run right by my door. Steamboat goes like this, it goes. Well, that big Kate Ellen's got the moves just like a man. She always takes my baby every time that she lands. Well, I say that big Kate Ellen handles just like a man. Yeah, always steals my baby every time that she lands. Well, I'm gonna take that sliding Delta. It's gonna run right by my door. I say that sliding Delta's gonna run right by my door. I'm losing my pick. There we go. Right back on that steam train. There we go. My suitcase, it is packed, and my trunk's already gone. I can't just stand around with that world waiting on, ain't that the truth? So I'm going on up that country, honey. Well, don't you wanna go? Yeah, I'm going up the country. Come on, baby, come along. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm gonna take that sliding Delta's gonna run right by my door. I say that sliding Delta's gonna run right by my door. Well, I'm gonna take that sliding Delta's gonna run right by my door. I say that sliding Delta's gonna run right by my door.
Thanks, ladies.
Thanks, y'all.
Beautiful dancing. You're all so beautiful.
Get you? Well, y'all have been real nice. We're going to try a new song out for you tonight. We've never performed this song in front of people before. At least I don't think. So this is one. This is actually on the album. And funny thing was, we were going to cut this song and not put it on the record. But the last song on the record was called Scenes of Midnight, and we had 11 tracks. So Rock was like, dude, just put the song on the fucking record. And I was like, all right. Fine.
Was
so
that
we
too
did
far? Was that too far? Was that too much?
No, it's a good call, I think. So we just kind of wung it, as they say in the studio. We just like arranged it on the fly, which made it fun. But anyway, it's a little song called To Get to You. My days were empty and I never really cared until I saw you standing there. You flashed a smile and you gave me your name. Then I burned up like a moth in the flame. Well, I've been around this great big country, and I've seen both the oceans blue. I've climbed the mountains in Colorado, and I've been down in them valleys too. And I've seen the smoke in Carolina, blowing off the hillsides pretty blue. And I felt the cold in Minnesota, and I'd do it all to get to you. But oh baby, don't deny me please, I've been a rambler, I have, but that means nothing to me if I can't have your shining eyes looking back at me. But I think I'm falling in love with you.
I'm feeling something too.
And I think you're falling in love with me.
Oh, must be true.
Well, I can't explain it. I ain't complaining. I would gladly spend all the rest of my days if I knew. Yeah, if I knew that I'd get to spend it all with you.
Well, I've seen the fog in San Francisco, glowing golden in the moon. I've seen the hills of South Dakota, black and rolling out of view. I've seen the sunflowers in Kansas, seconds in the sun. And I felt the heat of fire so nice. And I would cross it all for you.
Oh, baby, don't deny me, please. I've been a rambler, I have, but that means nothing to me. If I can't have your shining eyes looking back at me,
I think I'm falling in love with you.
well, I'm feeling something too.
I think you're falling in love with me.
Oh, I know it's true. I can't explain it. I ain't complaining. I would gladly spend all the rest of my days if I knew. Yeah, if I knew that I'd get to spend it all with you. Oh, baby, don't deny me, please. I've been a rambler, I have, but that means nothing to me. If I can't have your shining eyes looking back at me, I think I'm falling in love with you.
I'm feeling something too, and I think you're falling in love with me.
Oh, I know it's true. I can't explain it. I ain't complaining. I would gladly spend all the rest of my days if I knew. Yeah, if I knew that I'd get to spend it all with you. And I've been saving, now I get to spend it all with you. Ah, now I get to spend it all with you.
Thank you. That's a new song.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks for letting us try that out on y'all. Misfortune? Yeah, talk it out.
We'll play you another song we wrote. So, I don't know if bad luck like happens in 3s or 7s or whatever, but we just had this string of just really crappy things that happened to us in a row. And so, just like a scene in an old musical, we wrote a song about it.
We're gonna sing a song about it, everybody.
We call this song Misfortune. It's about a person, a make-believe person who we just assumed was sucking up all the luck because we were just having one hell of a week. So she and her lover, the Sir Kyle of Fire, they get everything they want, and they're quite menacing. So we're going to sing a little song about them. These old handbags are breaking down. Soles of my shoes are worn to the ground. I think I know who's been hanging around. It's hey, misfortune, why you keep a following me?
Stepped out the door, my hat blew off in the wind. I went and tried to chase it, but it got picked up instead. I think I might know who's wearing it now. Well, it's hey, misfortune, why you keep following me? I said, hey, misfortune.
Sun, rain, and snow.
I said, hey, misfortune.
Why don't you go on home?
I said, hey, misfortune, when you gonna leave me alone?
I bought a canary, but it wouldn't sing. I took it to the vet, he said it's tone deaf, you see. I think I know who's pitch perfect now. It's hey, misfortune, why you keep following me?
I went out camping, but it started to rain, so I turned back around. My car got washed away. I think I know who's driving around. Well, it's hey, misfortune, why you keep following me? I said, hey, misfortune.
Sun, rain, and snow.
I said, hey, misfortune.
Why don't you go on home?
I said, hey, misfortune, when you gonna leave me alone?
I heard she found a lover. He's that proud Sir Kyle of Fire.
Rumor has it they've been seen around town, effortlessly getting everything they desire.
Drag me round like a broken kite. Even their smiles seem to spill out spite. It feels like there's no end in sight. Well, it's hey, misfortune, why you keep a-following me? I said, hey, misfortune.
And the Sir Kyle fire.
I said, hey, misfortune.
Stripped me down to the wire.
I can't stand that gal, and I can't stand the man beside her. Yeah, I said, hey, misfortune.
Hey, misfortune.
I said, hey, misfortune.
Why don't you go on home?
I said, hey, misfortune, when you gonna leave me alone? Well, I said, hey, misfortune.
Sun, rain, and snow.
I said, hey,
Why
misfortune.
don't you go on home?
I said, hey, misfortune, when you gonna leave me alone? Leave me alone. I said, hey, misfortune, time for you to leave me alone.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
You leave us all alone, misfortune. I hope you all have a wonderful year. So that's our little shout out there to ward misfortune and her mean boyfriend away from you all. They don't need to pick on you.
We got a few more songs left in us, but we got Nathan. How do you say your last name, Nathan? Is it Kalish? Nathan Kalish, and the last callers, is that correct? He's coming up after us. We met him earlier.
Do stick around. The night is young.
Where are you from, Nathan? Nashville.
That's right,
He's from Nashville. So we had Oklahoma up before us. It was Chris. I don't know if Chris is still here. Are you? Oh, I don't know where he went. But I can't see anything really. Anyway, Chris was great. We're up here. We're the Lark and the Loon. We're from Arkansas. So we got Nashville coming up with Nathan. So stick
Little
around, y'all.
Southern Midwestern night of music.
Well, we're heading up west. We're going up to the Black Hills after this. Going up to Colorado and then up that way. So we'll do this little song here. Well, I woke up this morning, felt like I did last night. I woke up this morning, man, I felt just like I did last night. Meaning I felt just like the wind, baby, trailing behind your kite. Heard that truck driver's horn, man, sounded just like chaos in the street. Heard that truck driver's horn, yeah, sounded just like chaos in the street. He wasn't bringing no revolution, just a man with some deadlines to meet. I went to that roulette table, I thought I might have a chance. I went to that roulette table, man, I thought that I might have a chance. I tried to bet it all on blue. They told me the poker table was in the back. Give me a pair of aces. Give me a pair of eights. Give me a pair of aces and then gave me a pair of eights. Give my regards to Mr. Hickok, seems to be playing my hand from the grave. You can chop your cigar, Charlie, I'll smoke my cigarette. You can chomp your cigar, Charlie, I'll go smoke my cigarette.
See, it doesn't matter how good you look, I'm gonna take every little thing that you bet. Hope I don't feel tomorrow same way I'm feeling today. Hope I don't feel tomorrow same way that I'm feeling today. Meaning all stiff and proper in a room full of lax guys and dames.
Thank you.
Thanks, yo. Bessie, we're gonna do another little Bessie Smith number here. Rock's gonna sing it. The song's called "You've Been a Good Old Wagon." We don't think she's singing about a wagon.
I think she's singing about a lover. Listen here, pretty papa, please get out of my sight. I'm a calling it quits now, right from this very night. Oh, you know you've had your day. Don't you stand around. You've been a good old wagon daddy, but you done broke down. So you better go to the blacksmith shop, get yourself an overhaul. There ain't nothing about you that makes a good woman bawl. Nobody wants a baby when a real man can be found. You've been a good old wagon daddy, but you done broke down. Well, when the sun is shining, that's time to make hay. I've seen mobiles operate, and you can make that old wagon pay. Oh, when you worry and you pride, you used to love to run around. You've been a good old wagon daddy, but you done broke down. There ain't no use in crying up to make a big show. There's a man who stopped me more about loving than you will ever know. He's the king of loving, has manners of a crown. He's been a good old wagon daddy, and he ain't broke down. I said he's been a good old wagon daddy, and he ain't broke down. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
so change it.
Well, we have time for a few more. We have a time for a few more songs off our album here as we try to plug it, you know. It's a very fun life being an independent musician, but it's a very tough one as well at times. So if you do like what you hear, we do have some music available for sale, and we're really excited about this new album. You know, I've recorded some stuff, he's recorded some stuff, recorded together, and I have to say I am the most proud of this record.
It's our favorite child.
It's our favorite.
It's our favorite. It's our favorite baby.
I'm not just trying to get you to buy it, but we're quite proud of it. This is actually the opening song off of it.
It's a song called "Change Our Tune." We wrote this because sometimes in a relationship, you and the other person in the relationship, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but like you'll like not get along. It's like a weird thing. And then
That happened.
I do this a lot where I realize that I'm just being an asshole, and that I just need to like stop being a dick about it and just say I'm sorry.
You do a really good job, Jim.
So that's what this song is about. It's just being like, all right, I'm at fault. Sorry about it. That's the moral of the story. It goes like this. Down and out, hard up times,
seems to describe every day of mine, every luck of the draw, every roll of the dice. Well, I can point on my fingers, I can point on my toes. The only one to blame, I suppose, is silly and oh so stubborn me.
Oh, I know sometimes I can make your life difficult. I know I can make you miserable, but someday I'm gonna change my tune.
Well, someday you're gonna change your tune.
Most of the things I say are laughable, but you know my love is actual and
Nothing's gonna change that now. About as lucky as a three-leaf clover, we're burning bright like a supernova. But someday we're gonna change our tune. Well, I know sometimes I might get unpredictable. The gifts I give you might get unoriginal. But someday I'm gonna change my tune.
I know you're gonna change your tune.
People have said they find me unrelatable, but our dreams, they're still attainable. And nothing's gonna change that now. About as lucky as a three-leaf clover, we're burning bright like a supernova. But someday we're gonna change our tune.
Let's hear that harmonica now.
Different colors, the same team. At odds, yet the same squad. It doesn't matter if we disagree. We know our lives might be unconventional, reprehensible, at least we're presentable. Nothing's gonna change that now. We're about as lucky as a three-leaf clover. We're burning bright like a supernova. But someday we're gonna change our tune. Well, someday we'll be in harmony. No clashing melodies, dissonance free. Well, someday we're gonna change our tune.
All the way up to the moon.
Well, someday we're gonna change our tune.
Thank you so much.
Cool side story to that song. I made a music video for it. And by I made it, I mean I taught myself how to animate in 10 days. And I animated the entire thing in 10 days. It's on our YouTube channel.
And I know it's kind of hard for Jeff to talk about himself, and I might be biased, but he did a wonderful job. It's amazing. I don't
know.
He just he went to his own head. I started doing some booking. It was like one of those like really like productive types of months, and he just like knocked out this crazy animation. And
It's pretty weird. But yeah, you could see if you go to I'm not trying to draw you to, but if you go to the merch table on the tablet, I made a little animation on there using the characters from it. That's all I got to say about myself. We're gonna play you one last song. Then Nathan is gonna get up here and he's gonna rock this place up. So y'all stick around and check him out. He's from Nashville. He's got some merch over there too. So stick around if you just like some homegrown music or whatever. Think about getting some of his stuff too. I know all of us musicians appreciate that. We like to say it's always fun to meet new people and meet new crowds, but the money's always a plus. We'll admit it. But anyway, thanks to the Westport again. Thanks to all y'all for hanging out. Please stick around. Here's the last song off the record, and the last song for us this evening. It's called Scenes of Midnight. We're going to be back in August. If y'all like us that much, tell your friends. I think it's August like 24th we'll be here. Hell yeah.
awesome.
And We'll be on the radio tomorrow morning. If you listen to River Trade Radio, we'll be on early in the morning. Tune on in. The moon has come to greet you in that amber starless sky. The skyline, it seems, well, it always outbeams the starlight in the city. The tables and chairs are empty, and the shopkeepers will rotate their signs, reading sorry we're closed, though everyone knows they've no need to apologize. So let us walk the sidewalks, let the spotlighted dots lead the way. They say chivalry's dead, well I think instead it just doesn't need the fame. And now the night is not so lonesome as we walk together back home. Well, I'd walk all the way from New York to LA for that farewell midnight kiss.
Seek me, causing a sleep in the sheets. The night has moved on, but I'm hanging on to the walk and the midnight kiss. The cafes are bright with people wishing to have a nice day. They all suspect the kindness they get might be something for which they have paid. I'll daydream scenes of midnight, scenes of private moonlight avenues. I'll float on my feet until we meet at the end of the afternoon. Now the day is not so lonesome as I think of your hand in my own. I'd walk all the way from New York to LA for that farewell midnight kiss.
Trade smiles together and speak in our sparkling haze. Well, all that I want is a nice pleasant jaunt as we privately escape. And now the night is not so lonesome as we walk together back home. I'd walk all the way from New York to LA for that farewell midnight kiss. Yes, I'd walk all the way from New York to LA for that farewell midnight kiss. Thank you all very much.
Thank you all so much.